Namaskaram friends. So this is just my continuation of video of my earlier video where I was talking about the Buddha Graha and the planets, astrology and Puranas. So I just continue with that. Let me start with basically Buddha Graha. Still certain part is still left. So if you see, people tend to ask why Abhimanyu was left alone. Okay. Why the other Pandavas could not help him. Okay. See, the characteristics of a Buddha Graha, okay, is that they will be extremely fast. The people who is having very strong Buddha Graha, right? They can think today what you would be thinking 5 days later. So, and they will be extremely smart. They handle person to person in a different way. This is the reason when Abhimanyu just opened that Chakravyuha, right? The speed at which he was going, none of the other Pandavas could match it. Though Bhimsena knew, but he was clearly instructed by Krishna not to proceed further. So he was aware of it, but other Pandavas was really stuck up because they could not simply match the speed of the Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu, which is basically Buddha Graha, who is extremely fast. They are so smart. Okay, see, Abhimanyu was so smart. The way he was fighting Karna was different with the way he was fighting Drona. So each person he was finding it in a different way. You take the case of Arjuna himself. Arjuna again was fighting with Drona, Kripacharya, Ashwatthama, Karna, Duryodhana to take to avenge the death of his son, but he was finding it difficult to defeat them, whereas Abhimanyu was able to do it in a more easiest way. It's because of the way he was fighting. His fighting with each person was different, and of course he was tutored by Krishna also, so that also is a major factor. And the moral of the story is, you can be fast, but don't expect others also to be fast as you. Okay? So sometimes you need to take a back seat. This is one of the reasons. So that's the reason Abhimanyu was left alone and he was fighting on his own. Now, I just add one more instance. When Abhimanyu was practicing with his bow and arrows, after 2 or 3 arrows, it was getting deviated or it was getting missed. Immediately he suspected there is someone invisible around. So he then gave an astra which basically ties up that invisible person. Do you know who was that invincible person? It was Garud Gaja who was playing around. This is where that smartness comes. Okay, people with again strong Buddha, right? They can immediately, after few steps itself, they'll be able to identify whether they are going in the right direction or they are going in a different direction. Whereas people with normal things, right? They say out of 10 steps, they go to 8th step, then they realize they are doing something wrong, then they'll come back. Whereas with strong Buddha, right, in the 3rd step itself, they'll be able to identify they are going in a wrong direction and they'll come back. So this is an example, another example which I wanted to share. Characteristics of a Buddha. Okay, so again, who is Banas and Abhimanyu? Now take the case of, and I'll give another example. Okay, yeah, Arjuna and Ulupi had a son by name Iravan. Iravan is an avatar of Shani, okay, Saturn, and he dies on the 8th day of the war. Very interesting. 8 is always associated with Saturn. Okay, Iravan is also an avatar of Saturn. Very interesting. And why he was born to Arjuna and Ulupi? Why not to others? Because Ulupi is basically from the Nag dynasty. Okay, and Saturn and Rahu are very close friends. So the way where you are born also is determined by your inherent characteristics. Okay. This is the point which I wanted to raise. Now people say, uh, okay, in Ramayana, Rama killed Vali, and uh, what is that he got in back? So the same Vali was reborn as Kusha in Ramayana. So God gave him an opportunity to become as a son. Now, what happened in Mahabharata? It's very interesting. Okay, Karna is going to die, but Krishna gave an opportunity to for the son to become Surya. Okay, to become his son. That means Krishna and Satyabhama had a son by name Banu, who is the avatar of Surya. People don't know this. So in Mahabharata, we had two Surya avatars. One is Karna and another is Banu, who is the son of Krishna, born to Krishna and Satyabhama. And why Krishna to Satyabhama? Again, there is a reason. Satyabhama's father, Satrajit, was a strong devotee of Surya. Okay, so you might have heard all those stories, right? So where he fought with the bear to get the jewel and other things. So he is basically devotee of sun god, and Satyabhama's father was a devotee of sun god. So you can see that son Surya was again born as a son to Krishna and Satyabhama. So this one part which I wanted to tell. Now, few things which again I would like to share is that it's a slightly deviated topic, but I would like to insist on this. You have Kolhapur. Okay, do you know Kolhapur is in Maharashtra? Question is, why Kolhapur? Okay. Rukmini was a princess of Vidarbha. Okay. And the olden days, that Vidarbha region spans around that Kolhapur to the northwest. Okay. So that's the reason you have Lakshmi in Kolhapur, because that falls under Vidarbha region, and this is the region in Mahabharata time Rukmini was the princess. And within around 170 kilometers, you have Pandrapur also, Krishna Vittal or Krishna looking into uh, Kolhapur Lakshmi. So everything has a reason associated with it. Okay, so it's just not that we have a Lakshmi temple here or we have Krishna temple here. Everything is associated with this. Now, taking back to that conversation which Karna and Krishna had. Krishna clearly tells him that you are the son of Kunti and so and so, but which Karna was very well aware. In addition to it, Karna responds back to Krishna saying that because he was an expert astrologer, he says, on the day the war is getting started, war is okay, Jeshta Nakshatra is afflicted. Okay, that means Jeshta Nakshatra is in a bad position. Jeshta Nakshatra represents the eldest son in astrology. Okay, so essentially in Pandava side, who is the eldest? Karna. In Kaurava side, who is the eldest? Duryodhana. So it is going to affect them both. And he clearly says that he is not going to be alive because it has afflicted the Jeshta Nakshatra. See how many things playing a role. Assume that Krishna has delayed this war, okay, by a one day. Would have been sufficient for these people to escape? No. Certain things need to happen at certain point of time. So that was the reason Karna clearly gives an astrological reasons to Krishna. Krishna was very well aware of all these things, but he just wanted to show what are the inherent capabilities of Karna. Okay, and I think I have one more point which I wanted to share. Okay, I think I'll take this up in the my one of my next videos. Ramayana, Mahabharata, and astrology cannot be separated. Okay, all inherently interlinked. So what you read in Ramayana or Mahabharata need to be applied in astrology. What you read in astrology need to be applied in Ramayana and Mahabharata for you to get full knowledge. People tend to read it on a standalone basis, which is not going to help. Okay, the more you try to interlink and get the data right, the more the easier solutions you get. Okay, people tend to do this parihara, that parihara, this is the problem, that's the problem, but there are a lot of very very simple problems which can be known by just correlating all these things, and the simple solutions also by understanding how certain things are there. I'll specifically talk about Samba part. Okay, I'll talk about Krishna in a geopolitical view. Okay, how, what was the reason for him to move from Mathura to Dwaraka? People say that no, he wants to escape Jarasandha, etc., etc., etc. But it doesn't take much time for Krishna to do all these things to defeat Jarasandha. But he had his own set of plans. It's a more. My next video will be more like Krishna with geopolitics. Then I'll go little bit onto the slightly, I'll start going to the astrological side so that people are comfortable to understand how the problems, why it comes, when it comes, what are the simple remedies that can be done. Okay. Do you need to go every time to temple to do some great parihara? Many things are there. I'll not jump into that because that becomes more like common set of statements done by most astrologers, which I don't want to go. I want people to clearly understand Ramayana, Mahabharata, and astrology in parallel. Okay. Next, my next video, I'll try to focus more on Ramayana, where you find very very interesting things about what I can say, uh, concept of what Ramayana denotes. Okay. Now coming to Ramayana and Mahabharata, right? See, Rama is more about solar dynasty, right? Which is basically male and men and other things. Male is always associated with the ego. It is their inherent qualities. Okay. So Rama clearly helps you to bring down that ego. Either your ego or your person to whom you are talking, right? His ego, and he always gives a lot of protection. And one very interesting thing, again, it's my observation. It's not that everybody is in align with this. The number of boons given by Krishna is more. Do you know why? Very simple reason. It's a lunar dynasty where mothers and females are given more prominence, and females and mothers are more compassionate to their children. Okay, so that's the reason you tend to get boon very very fast. Okay, it's not that Rama doesn't give, Rama gives it. It all depends upon, again, what you are asking, when you are asking. Okay, so it's just my analysis. I'll not say this is the exact happening. Overall, when I try to correlate and understand this, what I observe. And last one point which I wanted to tell before I conclude on this video, people never ask why Krishna spent so much time fighting the Jambavanta. It's just a matter of, say, 1 second, 2 second for Krishna to defeat him. The problem what happened is in Ramayana, when Jambavanta sees Rama's body, right, he wanted to scratch his entire body against his body. Typically bear qualities, right? Bear tend to scratch its body against the tree and other things. Rama said, yes, okay, I'll give you that boon, but wait. Means he didn't say it explicitly. Rama understood that, and he ensured that he fights for a very long time so that Jambavant can scratch all his body on Krishna's, against Krishna's body. Okay? So that's a very interesting. Um, People tend to forget that even what they think inside doesn't get recognized or doesn't see, is not seen by God. Everything is calculated. So Jambavanta got it. Okay. After he felt tired only, Krishna showed, okay, I am your Rama. Thanks for watching. Any questions if you have, please put it in the comment section. Whenever I have time, I'll try to answer it, because I'm also held up with many other tasks and my own work. I just wanted to share my knowledge. So that's the thing. Thanks for watching. Namaskar.